It's award season with the Grammys, the Oscars, the Junos that are coming up, and the Movie Guide Awards. We're joined by Evy Baehr Carroll, host of the Movie Guide TV show. Thanks for joining us today, Evy.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so for people who aren't familiar with the Movie Guide Awards, tell me a little bit about them.
So the Movie Guide Awards started 27 years ago. We started to encourage filmmakers to make more positive, uplifting content. So during that time, when we first started, most of the movies were R-rated. So that was why we really wanted to help encourage them and tell them that there's a huge audience out there that wants that uplifting content, faith and values in movies. And we have seen that instead of most movies R-rated, their most top box office movies are pro-family, the whole family can go to with a moral worldview. In the top 10, all of them except one are R-rated movies, with a moral worldview. So that was kind of our, goal, is to encourage Hollywood to make more moral, uplifting content.
And you just had your award ceremony, and the Epiphany Prize for Most Inspiring Movie for 2018 went to one of my favorite movies last year, I Can Only Imagine.
I know. I loved that movie. I Can Only Imagine. This was a great movie based on the song that is probably the most famous Christian song out there. But it's a great movie. And if families ever want to look up reviews of different movies, we have the review at movieguide.org of that movie and all the movies that we'll, kind of talk about today.
Hey, and tell us about the Christy Peters Grace Award for the most inspiring performance in movies. Who won that?
This was a very touching moment because it went to Jim Caviezel, who played Paul, the Apostle of Christ, who is Luke in it. And it was an amazing moment because he went up there and he was accepting his award, and he gave his award out to James Faulkner, who played Paul, because he was saying, this was really James Faulkner's award, but the two of them accepted it together, and they both did an incredible job in the piece. The movie is a little bit more heavy, so we would say kind of older audiences. There's nothing really objectionable about the movie, but it's an incredible movie with some amazing performances in it by Jim Caviezel and James Faulkner. And, at the awards, it was just amazing to see because it was showing an act of sacrifice to give his award out. This is not really done in Hollywood usually, so it was amazing to see that.
Now, Evy, could you list some of the other best movies that were recognized that night?
So we had two different other types of movies. We had, a list of top 10 family movies and a list of kind of more mature audience. That means, teenagers and above, but people who still want kind of the wholesome moral content to it. So in terms of the family movies that we did, we gave it to The Grinch. That was an amazing movie, very adorable rendition that they did. This is all the movies that came out in 2018. Peter Rabbit, I Can Only Imagine, which we talked about before. God's Not Dead, Light in Darkness, Mary Poppins. And, there's the full list is on our website, movieguide.org. Some more mature audience movies. We did Ant-Man and the Wasp, Chappaquiddick, Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. And like I said, the full lists are on our website, and you guys can, look them up, look up the review, and then decide if you guys want to rent them, because it's always nice to have a movie that has a moral worldview that you can sit down and watch with your family.
These are great tips for families looking for great movies to watch. Thanks so much for all you're doing to promote this great movies in Hollywood.
Thank you so much for having me.